Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Neet Biology. This is my first video on my YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss about a very short topic which is inflorescence. Now firstly we will start what is inflorescence. I have made a short notes already which is visible in camera. I have jotted down all the key points and important topics from the part of inflorescence. Now, firstly, we discuss from NCERT itself. Now, what is inflorescence? The arrangement of flower on the axis is called inflorescence. Depending on whether the apex gets developed into a flower or continues to grow, two major types of inflorescence are defined, which is racemose and cymose. In racemose, the type of inflorescence the main axis continues to grow, the flowers are borne laterally in an acropetal succession. In cymose type of inflorescence, the main axis terminates in a flower, hence is limited in growth. The flowers are borne in a bicipetal order. Now I have said that I have jotted down already all the key points. Now come to my own notes. Racemose and cymose. Racemose indefinite growth. Cymose definite growth. Racemose main axis continues to grow. Cymose main axis terminates into flower. Flowers borne laterally on acropetal order. Flowers borne at bicipetal order. Racemose example radish, lupin, mustard. Cymose example begonia, bougainvillea and dianthus. Okay. Now come to the point flower. What is the flower? The flower is actually the reproductive unit in the angiosperms. It is meant for sexual reproduction. A typical flower has 4 different kinds of hole arranged successively on the solen end of the stalk or pedicel, which is called thalamus or receptacle. This is a calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx and corolla, two accessory organ, while androecium and gynoecium the reproductive organs. In some flowers like lily, the calyx or corolla are not distinct, are termed as perianth. Now I have jotted down all the key points. What is flower? Reproductive unit of angiosperm meant for sexual reproduction. Having 4 different kinds of flowers arranged successively on thalamus. What is thalamus? Solen end of the stalk and pedicel. Holes. Calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Okay. Calyx and corolla, which accessory holes, and androecium and gynoecium reproductive organ. Having both gynoecium and androecium in the plant of pea and hibiscus, having either gynoecium or androecium in maize. What is perianth? When calyx and corolla cannot be distinguished in a plant, then the situation is called perianth. It is seen in lily. Okay, now comes to the part of the symmetry of the flower. Symmetry of the flower. A flower can be actinomorphic, which has a radial symmetry, zygomorphic, which is bilateral symmetry, which when a flower can be divided into 2 equal radial halves in a radial plane passing through the center. It is said to be actinomorphic. Example, mustard, datura, chili. When it can be divided into two similar halves or in one particular vertical plane, it is zygomorphic. Example, pea, gulmohar, bean, cassia. A flower is asymmetric, can be said irregular if it cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane passing through the center, as in Kanna. Now comes to my note. I have write down a difference between actinomorphic and zygomorphic. Actinomorphic is radial symmetry and zygomorphic is bilateral symmetry. Actinomorphic. When a flower can be divided into two equal radial halves in any radial plane passing through the center. Now comes to the mnemonics MDC, mustard, datura, chili. Now zygomorphic, when it can be divided into similar halves only in one particular vertical plane. Now the mnemonics of the example is PGPC, P, gulmohar, bean, cassia. Asymmetric or irregular flower, which is canna. Now come to the part of the next part. A flower may be trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous when the flower appendages are in multiple of 3, 4 or 5 respectively. Flowers with bracts, reduced leaf found at the base of the pedicel are called bracted, and those without bracts is called ebracted. Now comes to the part of the based on the position of calyx, corolla and vation in respect to of the ovary and thalamus. Some flowers are hypogynous, some flowers are hypogynous, some flowers are perigynous, some flowers are epigynous. This is hypogynous. These two are perigynous. This one is epigynous. Now I have already made short notes upon that topic, which is visible in camera, I think. Now, hypogynous flower, which has superior ovary. Example, BMC. The full form is brinjal, mustard and China rose. Now comes to the part perigynous, which has half inferior ovary, gynoecium at center, and other parts of the flower are located on the rim of the thalamus almost at the same level. Now the mnemonics are PRP, plum, rose, peach, and the last one is epigynous. In this case, other parts above than ovary, example, guava, cucumber and ray florets of sunflower. Okay, my discussion is comes to the end. Now parts of the flower we will discuss in my next video. Thank you.